Hi, my name is Kenton Kephart, and this is my beautiful wife, Beverlyn. As in, Beverlyn, not Beth. Not, well, we can call her Bev. Yeah. So, Bev, what is your role in the Tropic Media world?
I wear many hats, but I think what best sums it up is I am the chaos manager.
There you have it. She manages chaos. Or actually, let me introduce the other part of chaos. This is my son, Cayman. Cayman, how old are you?
11. I'm going to be 12 in a month.
Baby Huey. And for those of you who don't know who Baby Huey is, nobody's perfect. It's okay. So, Cayman, what is your role in these videos?
I edit them, well, all of them, and I do Did You Know articles.
Okay. So, the point of these videos is to show how small changes can make a huge impact. He does the Did You Know section. You can find the Did You Know section on the home page under Did You Know. He doesn't do it alone, but he does it. Why? Why do I have you do those?
As my homeschool project.
Right. So, and he's supposed to include the references and all that. Feel free to let me know when a reference is not in there. I usually check his work, but they will be there most times. So, first of all, who are we? My wife and I ran a successful aquarium service for 10 years. I specialized in taking care of live reef tanks, and I got pretty good at it. For the Home and Garden Show in 2016, we and our crew successfully broke down a 150-gallon reef tank, a 55-gallon cichlid tank, and a 65-gallon hexagon tank. And then we set them back up in less than 10 hours. And then, 3 days later, we did the same thing all over again just to bring them home. Now, the last picture we just showed you was a 150-gallon reef tank that I had for 6 years, and I was able to prove a certain concept with it. Water changes are not necessary. That's right. We rarely ever change water. In fact, I maybe only changed the water on that tank 6 or 7 times in the entire time I had it. That includes the Home and Garden Show. What do you think of that? And the corals were thriving. I'll give you a clue on how we did it. Oversized calcium reactor acts for denitrification, and oversized refugium with bivalves, clams, and you know what? I don't want to tell you too much. How about read my book and it might give you a clue on how we did it. Now, unfortunately, I can only show you pictures of the tank now because of a serious tragedy that I'll get to in a little bit. So anyway, our company was a huge success until we had to move to from Austin, Texas. Love Austin. And we had to move to South Texas to help family. Now, we continued to service Austin, but we soon met some faux reefing communities that had less ethical reefing practices than Austinites. These reefers, or faux reefers, wanted instant gratification with live corals. Now, with live corals, nothing good ever happens fast. Only bad things happen fast. So it wasn't great for business, but I decided I was going to stand up for what I believed in. Even if it meant losing pretentious, glorified clients, or self-glorified clients. And I won't lie, the last 4 years have been a little rough, but little by little we realized we are not alone in our viewpoints. And I personally have chosen to maintain that every person has the ability to do good, and people can be good if they see the bigger picture and choose to do their small part of working together. Which brings me to our mission. We are not going to use Tropic Media to get into politics or religion. Though if you want to talk religion, I'd be happy to via private messaging. However, for this video series, we stay neutral because some viewers may miss the point of our message. And I don't mean all trolls because, well, sometimes I like to throw in a monkey wrench just to see how things play out, you know? But, well, you know who you are. So what do I mean whenever I say that small changes in your lifestyle can have huge impacts? Well, to explain that, let me get down to, let me first say, for you first responders, doctors, nurses, for you who are keeping the shelves stocked right now, thank you. A big thank you for everything you do. For you people who maybe have lost someone, who are maybe waiting by the phone because you can't be with someone you love, or who have lost a job, hang in there. You're not alone. And how do I know this? Because 1 year ago today, June 1st, 2019, my father, my mother, my brother, or youngest brother, and my sister-in-law were all in a car, and they're heading out on their ministry, and they're making a taco run. And a young intoxicated driver, hit them, and needless to say, everybody, of course, went to the hospital. My dad died the next day from his injuries, and we lived at the hospital for 21 days. From when my dad had died, just like in the COVID-19 patients, we couldn't have a service for him because the crisis wasn't over. We still had so much going on. But when we finally did have the service, and I'm glad we had it when we did, because right after that the quarantine started, when we finally did have the service, it was nice because we didn't want to do a memorial service. My dad loved life, and he had some interesting stories. We all sat around eating barbecue, just telling stories about what he did. And what we learned from that was there's two different ways to handle things. You can either sit there and try to find somebody to blame for all your troubles, and you'll just dwell on the negative. It won't help. Or you can be positive and say, what can I take from that? My father taught us to be humorous, to laugh, to love life, to find different way of doing everything. Perspective, change your outlook, because you could say, oh, look at me, I'm stuck behind these bars at home. Or you can say, I'm safe at home. There are two ways of looking at everything. One young man's dumb decision cost my family about $1.5 million in hospital bills and lost income. That's 5 households that he basically destroyed. But we didn't die. And we're continuing. We're moving on stronger. We will do the same thing with this pandemic. So, what am I trying to say? People, after 2 weeks, and I'm just saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks of people staying home, they talked about the canals in Rome that actually went clear. San Antonio River, and I'm talking a nasty river, diapers, staph infection, all of that ran clear for the first time in decades. That's the positive outtake. And we can look at the same thing if we look at, if only 2 weeks did that. Imagine if everybody in the world just made a very tiny change, like said, I'm going to use a reusable shopping bag. I'm going to use reusable bottles, and minimize the amount of plastic they produced. If everybody made that change, can you imagine what a world we would live in? And that is the point of our website. We are going to do our best to show you how small changes in your everyday life can make a huge impact. Just small daily changes that we've already made in our life and we actually kind of took for granted, but they actually do make a big impact when everybody does stuff together. So it's like cause and effect, but it works both ways. Just like one idiot in a car could cause so much havoc or wreak so much havoc on one family, a bunch of people making deliberate decisions can make a huge impact on the world. Not just on a family, on the world. So that's our introduction. I hope you guys continue to look at our videos. I hope you guys take a look at our website and read my book. And that's about it. I'll see you next